Sonic 3 has passed $200 million worldwide. Now, I don't know the exact number as I'm recording this video, you know what I'm saying? So don't get crazy with me. All right, don't get crazy. Basically, there's a lot of shit that's being said about how good this Sonic movie is doing. Am I surprised? I'm not surprised one fucking bit. It helps to make the movie great when you got a voice actor that, you know what I mean? He just was doing his thing as the voice actor for Sonic, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? That plays a part too. Plus, you gave us Sonic versus Shadow in these forms. Like, come on now. You know what I mean? Like, that shit looked crazy, that fight scene. It had me jumping off my damn seat going crazy. I think the reason Sonic 3 is doing so good is because not only do you have the director giving a fuck about the movie, you got the voice actors and the actors giving a fuck about the movie. Plus, they're listening to the fans. They're not doing no extra shit. They're not doing too little. They're not doing too much. They're doing exactly what they need to do to make these movies good so far. 'Cause if you ask me, I feel like from part 1 to part 3, that shit just gets better and better each movie. Nah, like, really think about it though. You know what I'm saying? With Shadow, like, I already knew what to expect before the movie even came out. And the fact that they even put the shit on screen, that told me everything I needed to know of how much they care about this movie. Because for me, sometimes with movie companies, like, they just put out anything. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to video games. Yeah, nah, they just put out anything. Like the Mortal Kombat movie. Listen, right? The graphics on this movie was fire. And there was a whole bunch of other shit that I feel like it played a part for why this movie was so damn bad. Like, I ain't gonna lie. If you think this movie is good, alright, to each his own. But this movie is terrible. I ain't gonna care. And we all know Mortal Kombat, like, when you think of, like, legendary video games, like Mortal Kombat, it was, like, one of them ones in this time. You know what I mean? Like, Mortal Kombat in his prime, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's Mortal Kombat. But the movie, that shit is terrible. Like, no bullshit. Even Uncharted, like, look, Uncharted, it wasn't completely terrible. But it was just something about this movie. I don't know. It just didn't sit right with me. I'm gonna be real with y'all. It felt like Spider-Man, we're still trying to go home. That's what this movie felt like. Because Tom Holland, you basically should have called him Peter in the movie. He was over here doing backflips on crates in midair like he was Spider-Man or some shit. I'm like, yo, bro, what the fuck am I watching? You know what I mean? Like, yo, that shit wild. Like, fuck y'all doing? Those are just some examples of what I mean when I say sometimes with video games, when they get a movie, that should be terrible. Now, you see, I feel like if we got a God of War movie, yeah, we talking now. I ain't gonna lie. I've been waiting a long ass time to see Kratos on the big screen. That's something I feel like will feed families for decades, for centuries. Like, we need that. I ain't gonna lie. Then again, if they somehow fuck that shit up, that right there, that shit's not gonna sit right with me. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm never gonna get over it. Or like if Link was to be in a movie, bruh. Can you imagine how the graphics would be for a Zelda movie? Yo, listen, that shit would be fire. Hey, but I ain't gonna lie though. We getting sidetracked. You know what I'm saying? Back to Sonic. Back to Sonic. It's just good to see so far that Paramount, they are taking it serious when it comes to the Sonic production and Sonic movie. Because you could tell, like, they actually giving a fuck about this shit. And mind you, the budget is low. Like I said in the previous video when I was talking about this shit, the budget for these movies are low as shit. So that's what makes it even more better. The fact that you put such a low budget on the movie and you're doing good. And that right there, that say a lot to me, because how many of these movies got a high budget? You know what I'm saying? And that should be terrible. Or like they be having nothing but star-studded actors, and that should be whack. There's mad movies that's like that. You know what I mean? So that right there, I feel like that says a lot to me. And look, you feel me? Obviously, they're building up to something when it comes to Sonic. But I'm going to tell you right now, if we get these three on the same big screen, oh, yo, I'm not going to know what the fuck. I'm going to lose my shit. I'm not going to know what to do. I ain't going to lie. I'm going to go crazy. Because I know a couple people, feel me, and I've seen people online talking about how they feel like Silver's probably going to be in the next one. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, I don't think so. I feel like if we get Silver in the movie, it got to be like part 5 or part 6. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be anytime soon. But if we was to somehow get him soon, I'm not saying we are, but if we do, that right there alone would be crazy. I ain't gonna lie. That right there, like, yo, word, that shit gonna be crazy. I've said this to people I personally know, and I think I said it in my last video. I think the comeback that everybody is waiting on from Marvel is gonna be Sonic that makes that takeover. Because, bro, like I said, they treating this shit like they actually give a fuck about it. And I respect the hell out of that. You know what I mean? I appreciate that. If only Sony felt the same way about Spider-Man villains, you know what I mean? Then I'll probably be saying the same shit about them. But you know how that shit go with Sony. They can't make a good movie to save they fucking life. I mean, damn. If their life was on the line to make a good movie, you know Sony ain't gonna be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? They out of here.